Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team. We have a lot of weather to talk about. We've got some changes that are going to be moving into our area as we go through the next few days. Number one, temperatures are a little cooler out there today compared to yesterday. As you see here, our high today was 51 degrees. Yesterday's high was 56. We were about 5 degrees warmer, cooler today than we were yesterday. Our low this morning, though, was still very cold at about 30 degrees. We're pretty much going to repeat these temperatures again tomorrow with a low of 30 degrees and a high of 51, or in the lower 50s here tomorrow. And as you can see, that is below the average. The average should be around 54 degrees for this time of year. The average low should be around 35 degrees. So here's what we're going to be watching as we go through the next few days. It is going to be quiet. We're in a dry pattern. We just have that cooler air that's going to be staying with us for the next couple of days before we start warming up a little bit more. You see here on the satellite radar imagery, no rain around, but we do have some clouds that are trying to mix in a little bit at times. Those really aren't going to have much impact on us overnight, as those clouds don't have any rain in association with them. And as you can see, a few more of those clouds that extend down to the south of us. And again, those clouds don't have any rain with them either. So as we talk about the last 20 hours, you'll notice that we did get cold out there this morning when we hit 30 degrees, so we were below freezing for a few hours here this morning, and then we started climbing pretty nicely today with those high temperatures getting into the lower 50s. And now, of course, the sun went down earlier. It's dark out there. We'll see those temperatures falling. Right now, we are in the lower 40s at this hour, and it is going to be a rather chilly night out there tonight and early start tomorrow. So here's what we're going to be watching. That cold air is back. You know, yesterday we warmed up a little bit after a really cold snap. We went like 7 days without temperatures getting up into the 50s. Well, we did it yesterday. We're in the low 50s again today. We're going to see some late week warming. So after a couple of cool days here for your Wednesday and your Thursday, we'll see those temperatures warming a little bit more. By Friday, we get into the mid 50s, maybe even some areas into the upper 50s, and it's going to be dry for the end of the week, but that's going to change. Heading into the weekend, we have some wetter weather moving in, and that's mainly for Saturday, but as the wet weather moves in, our temperatures are going to remain on the warm side, so it is going to be the liquid variety of precip for this weekend. Just going to be rain, no winter mischief out there at all. Take a look at these temperatures around North Georgia right now. Now we have 40 in Atlanta. We also have 41 over in Athens. Most everywhere else is in the 30s right now. 37 in Covington, Marietta, you're at 38. Lower 30s in Dalton. We do have some 20s up in North Georgia, like up in Blairsville, where it is 28 degrees right now. During the day tomorrow, just know that it is going to be that chilly start with temperatures around 30. We get up to around 50 in the afternoon. Again, tomorrow is going to be pretty similar to what we had out there for today. We'll have a couple of clouds mixing in with the sun at times, and then at times we'll see pure sunshine. Then at times we'll have some high, thin clouds around, but we do think we'll make it up to 50 degrees there in the middle of the afternoon, which again, going to be close to the temperatures that we had out there for today. So I'm going to walk you through the forecast track over the next couple of days. And over the next couple of days, it's going to be a pretty quiet weather pattern that we have. You'll see here those few clouds that we have on the south side. Those are going to be breaking up a little bit more tonight. For the most part tomorrow, we'll have a mixture of sunshine and clouds early on, and then mostly sunny skies into the afternoon hours. Those lows in the 30s, highs right around 50 degrees. Pretty quiet day. And then on Thursday, again, nothing major moving in. What I want you to notice here, on the forecast track for tomorrow, we had arrows coming out of the north and west. But on Thursday, those arrows here, that flow comes more out of the west. And that's just going to be a slow process of gradually warming those temperatures up a little bit more. I do think on Thursday, we'll make it up to maybe about 53 degrees. And then once we get into Friday, it will be even warmer, maybe 56, 57 degrees. And then pretty much the same thing for Saturday too, thanks to that zonal flow that's going to be moving into our area. And as you see here, more of a southerly flow to try to bring those temperatures up just a little bit more. But between now and the end of the week, even though those temperatures are going to slowly be warming, the air is going to remain dry. We're not going to see any rain moving in. That all is going to change on your Saturday. So once we get into Saturday and into next week, we have a lot of interesting things to talk about. So before I get to Number one, the rain on Saturday, and then the cold air next week, and then another potential for some moisture to move in with that air. I want to break down for you again what we often look at in forecasting winter weather. Now, I know that a lot of you have probably seen maps circulating on social media showing differing amounts of snow possible for next week. Some of them are extreme amounts, some of them are really low amounts. Now, what we as meteorologists know, that these models change daily, often numerous times a day. And what happens is when people start posting stuff more than 7 to 10 days out that says you're going to have this many inches of snow, we don't know that. That's just the model guidance that we look at, and we compare the models, we look for trends. Those models really aren't meant to be posted so that everybody will freak out about them. So where we are right now is in the pretty much the 7 to 10 day period here, where we start looking ahead. And what we look ahead when we're looking that far out is really just for trends. And that's where we are right now, just recognizing any patterns, whether or not they're favorable for winter weather or not. And we've been seeing some of these signs over the past couple of days in the models indicating that, hey, we've got a lot of cold air in place next week. And we're watching some moisture that could move in with it. And again, the models have been flip-flopping back and forth. Some days they show snow, some days they don't. And that's just what we're used to seeing as meteorologists. And then once we get into the 5 to 7 day time frame, that's usually when we start noting, okay, are these models or are these trends going up or down, more in favor of snow or less in favor of snow? Then when we get to 3 to 5 days out, that's when we can start pinpointing more of the timing and the storm type, whether or not it's going to be snow, sleet, or maybe an ice storm or freezing rain event. And then 1 to 3 days out, that's when we can try to pinpoint more of those forecast details, a little more specific about some of the amounts and the location and the timing. So this is where we are right here, 7 to 10 days out. It's just a pattern recognition. So I wanted just to make sure we went over that again before we get into showing you some of the models here, because again, it's just pattern recognition right now. There's no way I can say at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a particular day, 7 to 10 days out, we're going to have this many inches of snow, or we're going to have this much ice in the area. We just don't know yet. So just be patient with us over the next few days as we're trying to fine tune this a little bit more. Let me show you the European model as we go through Friday, because what I first want to talk about is this rain system that's going to be impacting us for the weekend, on Saturday mainly. So Friday is going to be dry. We'll begin to see a few more clouds that'll be building in during the day, and there you see that rain coming in on Saturday. I think the better coverage of that is going to be in the early part of the day Saturday, still some lingering showers into the afternoon, and then early on Sunday, it's not out of the question that we could have a raindrop or two left over, but I really think for the most part on Sunday, the trend is going to be that we're drying out. The other trend for Sunday is that it's going to be getting colder. I'm thinking Saturday, we'll see high temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. Then on Sunday, we may not even make it out of the 40s as this colder air starts to move in here. And then that's the next big change that's moving in. A blast of really cold air comes in beginning on Sunday. We'll really be feeling that on Monday, and then feeling it even more on Tuesday and Wednesday as those temperatures continue to drop. So before we get to the cold part, let's break down the rain. And the models have been pretty consistent. The American model here is showing 1.1 inches, the European model showing 1 inch of rain possible, and really pretty uniform there. So we're feeling pretty good that we could get 3/4 to 1 inch of rain here in the Atlanta area on Saturday. So that's the first part of the weekend. The second part of the weekend is when we start getting colder. And you can see that cold air or chilly air is in place over us right now. That's going to be with us on Wednesday. That's going to be with us on Thursday. But then on Friday, notice the change as some milder air starts coming in here. Remember, I showed you those winds coming out of the south, and that'll help to warm things up a little bit for your Friday and Saturday. But look what's waiting. Another surge of cold air that moves in. That's going to start moving in on Sunday as those highs go back down into the 40s. And then hold on, because next week it gets even colder. And we're talking very cold air coming in for Monday, also on Tuesday, and on Wednesday, where that's going to be in place. And we're talking about Tuesday and Wednesday, lows in the teens or lower 20s, and afternoon highs that may barely get above freezing, maybe 34, 35 degrees for the middle part of next week. So when you have temperatures that cold, you have to watch for any moisture that could mix in with it. So this is what we're watching. We have this blast of colder air that'll be with us for the first part of the week. On Tuesday, we have this. Look at this. Another system with snow through parts of Texas, Oklahoma, moving into northern Louisiana. Another area of low pressure that we'll have to watch. And again, depending on the track of that low, that will determine if we have any snow or freezing rain or sleet or just cold rain pushing into our area. If this low stays more down to the south and this cold air stays entrenched in our area, then we'll have a better chance for some winter precip pushing in. If this low starts to track more up into this direction, that would bring up some warmer air, and then it would be more of a rain event for us. This is where the models have been pretty consistent and where we feel confident. We feel confident, number one, it's going to be cold, and it's going to be really cold next week. What we don't feel confident about is the track of that low and the exact type of moisture that'll be moving in, and also the exact timing too. Right now, it looks like it would be late Tuesday into Wednesday when we might have that chance of flirting with some winter precip that could be moving into our area. So I'm just showing you that to let you know the trends that we're seeing, that some of the models have been pretty consistent, that the chances are actually coming up a little bit that we could see some winter precip next week. Then we can kind of fine tune those details as we get closer to it. Meanwhile, look at these temperatures. Morning lows Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we think each day will be just below freezing, right around 30 Wednesday and Thursday, 31 on Friday. Saturday and Sunday, as that moisture is with it, it's going to be a little milder in the mornings. I mean, still chilly with temperatures in the lower 40s, but at least we're going to be well above freezing there. And look at these high temperatures too. They start trending upward. Now on Wednesday, we'll be pretty similar to what we had today with highs in the lower 50s. We'll be at 53 Thursday, coming up to 57 Friday, 56 Saturday. And then when that rain pushes out and the next surge of colder air comes in, we'll be at only 48 for a high on Sunday. And we may even see those temperatures falling during the day. So let's sum up what we're talking about with this winter weather threat that'll be pushing our way for next week. We're feeling pretty confident about the Arctic cold air that'll be moving in, but we're now watching the moisture and how the models are treating that moisture with a track of low pressure that can move in and mix with that cold air. Right now, the timing looks like later Tuesday into Wednesday when we might see that chance of some of that cold air mixing in with that moisture to give us a little bit of winter precip. So please know the timing may change a little bit. The moisture content may change a little bit. Even the temperatures could change a little bit, even though we're feeling pretty confident that it's going to be really cold out there. But a lot to watch. We will be with you. We like to just shoot straight with you and tell you what we do know and also tell you what we don't know instead of putting out some outlier models just to kind of shock you and alert you or anything about anything that may not really happen out there for the middle of next week. So that is summing up what we think is going to be happening, and we'll fine tune this even more. So for the next couple of days, just know Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday look dry, mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies here for the middle to the end of the week, with dry weather sticking with us. Morning lows near freezing each day. Notice those high temperatures, 50 on Wednesday, 53 on Thursday, 57 on Friday, that gradual warming trend for the end of the week. And then that goes into the first part of the weekend on Saturday, highs near 56. But it's on Saturday when we see this first wave of moisture in that'll mix in with the milder air. So it's all rain, the liquid variety of precip, no frozen stuff on Saturday. That'll be exiting early on Sunday, a 20% chance for a shower early on. Then the colder air starts rushing in on Sunday, highs right around 48 degrees. Then brace yourself for the really cold air Monday and Tuesday, a low of 24 Monday, 36 Tuesday, low of 21 Tuesday, and a high of 35. And later Tuesday into Wednesday is when we may see some of that moisture moving in with that. We will keep you posted right here from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team, and we'll have updates on 11 Alive News and 11 Alive Plus.